In this bulletin, EU proposes halt to economic partnership agreement discussions. Parliament passes motion to rejoin Inter-Parliamentary Union. And no more kindergarten fees applicable. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The European Union has proposed stopping negotiations on the Economic Partnership Agreement for 3 years. According to the Permanent Secretary for Industry and Trade, Shaheen Ali, this recent correspondence from the EU to the African, Caribbean, Pacific ministers is being moved in the hopes that all parties will resolve a number of issues. Maggie Boyle with this exclusive story.
In response to our questions, the Ministry of Industry and Trade's Permanent Secretary, Shaheen Ali, has shed some light on the status of EPA talks with the European Union. According to Ali, recent correspondence received from the EU to the Pacific ACP ministers proposes to stop negotiations for 3 years in the hopes that certain issues will be resolved given time. Therefore, it is proposed that the Pacific ACP trade and fisheries ministers meet in Fiji this year, address the best way forward in the negotiations process for the betterment of regional trade and integration in the global market. Ali goes on to say that there has been very little progress in the comprehensive EPA negotiations since October 2013 due to a number of contentious issues. Amongst them is fishery, especially EU's access to fishery stocks and conservation and management measures remains a key stumbling block. EU's head of delegation Pacific, Ambassador Andrew Jacobs, admits a substantive agreement may take a while yet.
At the moment, I must say negotiations have not been easy. We have quite a lot of difference in views in relation to conservation of fish stocks in the Pacific. And I think until we've overcome some of these obstacles in the fisheries sector, it's going to be quite difficult to move towards the conclusion of the comprehensive agreement.
While fisheries issues are the main area of contention, Ali says there are other issues that need to be addressed, such as better rules of origin for fisheries export, policy space for infant industry development, and the ability to apply export taxes, to name a few. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Parliament has passed a motion to rejoin the Inter-Parliamentary Union, or IPU. The motion was moved by Prime Minister Bainimarama today. Akusita Tale has the details.
One way in which the parliamentary system can be strengthened is to rejoin the Inter-Parliamentary Union. Prime Minister Bainimarama says rejoining will strengthen Fiji's democracy and foster relations with other parliaments around the world.
The government proposes to rejoin the organization to begin rebuilding and strengthening the old ties we once shared with MPs around the world. To re-engage with them for the benefit of Fijian MPs, and of course to foster closer relations with our counterparts elsewhere.
With more than 166 member countries, the IPU will be a platform that will benefit Fijian MPs. Bainimarama says it will also help foster relations with their counterparts elsewhere.
The IPU is an important way in which all of us, as elected representatives of the Fijian people, can have dialogue with citizens representatives of other nations to exchange ideas, to learn from each other, and to improve our ability to serve the people we represent.
The motion was widely supported by the opposition.
This is democracy, Honourable Prime Minister, and what you've done is commendable in taking us back to where we were before.
This morning we had students from the university. We have empowered our 18-year-old to vote. Madam Speaker, it is our duty as parents, as leaders of this country, to give them the world as their oyster. We must open up the world for them. And I commend this. I commend this rejoining IPU.
The opposition has also asked the Prime Minister to reconsider joining the Commonwealth Parliament Association. The motion was raised following the parliamentary delegation visits to the UK, the Scottish Parliament and to the National Assembly of Wales earlier this year. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Prime Minister Bainimarama says he will continue to call for a review of the Pacific Island Forum membership. Bainimarama has confirmed that he will attend the Palm 7 meeting scheduled later this month in Japan, where he is expected to make an address. It will also be attended by other Pacific Island leaders who could use the opportunity to lobby Bainimarama to change his mind about Fiji's membership.
And there will be, of course, leadership in other Pacific nations that will be
Of course, yes.
lobbying for Fiji to rejoin the Pacific Islands Forum. So you're going to be in a room with them. What will you have to say?
Well, the things I've been saying for the last 2 weeks.
The Prime Minister last week said that he will not participate in any forum leaders meeting until the issue of the undue influence of Australia and New Zealand is addressed. The Electoral Commission will have to vet the eligibility of Alexander O'Connor to become the next government member of Parliament. The former company executive from Lautoka is the highest ranked candidate of the Fiji First Party in the September 2014 general election, who did not get elected to Parliament. If his eligibility is cleared by the Electoral Commission, O'Connor will be awarded the seat left vacant by Piuti Kunduandua, who resigned yesterday. O'Connor could be sworn into Parliament in the July session. Free tuition fees for early childhood education comes into effect from this week. Eleanor Tarangaiviu reports this is part of government's free education initiative for all children in the country.
Each kindergarten student is entitled a $50 grant for a term under the tuition-free initiative announced in December last year. The Education Ministry is still trying to get the total number of early childhood centres that will be assisted.
Following the announcement, there was a major proliferation of new schools coming into our net because of the announcement. So we're giving a few more weeks for them to come forward to give us the correct numbers. If not, we'll just use the current number and disburse the grant.
The current number of registered early childhood centres stands at close to 1,000. The funds are expected to be disbursed in 3 weeks' time at the latest.
The government is very good. It's very nice. In this,
I think it's a good initiative and I will support it.
It's good for Fijians, especially Fijians, because most of their parents are on the street, most of them just farmers, fishermen.
The ministry is also yet to get an exact number of students that will be assisted.
The roles in these schools in term 1 are different from term 2. Because in term 1, the parents were paying it. Now they know that in term 2 they don't have to pay. This role might change and we're expecting it to change.
The ministry has since the start of the year worked on getting qualified teachers for the early childhood centres because this will make it possible for the centres to be registered. Once registered, the centres will then be eligible for the free tuition grant. The ministry is also looking at setting up an early childhood education unit within the ministry. Eleanor Tarangaiviu, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, discussions underway in Nandi to revive livestock sector.
So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is it's because I have 2 really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick, and plus I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Burumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7, right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
A second state witness, Esala Bainimarama, who was granted immunity in the multi-million-dollar Rhodes upgrade scam in 2012, took the witness stand today. He claims that in April 2012, while recording the works carried on site, he was allegedly called by the first accused Firoz Jan Mohammed, the director of the bulldozing company. The witness told court that he then went up to Mohammed's office in Ba and was surprised to find a fourth accused, Aiser Liwayono, who was the then DNR engineer, in the same office with Mohammed. Bainimarama claims he was asked to sign documents which were alleged claim forms to be sent to Lautoka for verification and then to Suva for payment. He also told the court that the information in the forms were exaggerated. The trial continues in the Suva High Court. Staff at the Lautoka Hospital have been cleared of any wrongdoing in the death of a baby during delivery. The baby girl was stillborn to Pritika and Javier Lal in November last year, and the issue was brought up in Parliament today. Health Minister Chone Osumate told the House that an investigation found the baby died because of prolonged hypoxia caused by severe shoulder dystocia. Hypoxia means a lack of oxygen to the body. Shoulder dystocia is when the shoulder of a baby becomes lodged during delivery.
Part of the antenatal history of the mother in question was missed, and that in case a diabetes screening test was not done. So this is an area that we are now looking into improving within the ministry.
Usumate says the investigation also identified a few areas that the ministry needs to improve to ensure these problems are minimized in the future. The Livestock Forum, which is being held in Nandi, has been encouraged to enhance the agriculture sector by working towards contributing more towards the economy. Agriculture contributes 12% of the GDP, of which 9% is livestock. Christopher Chand reports.
This group is meeting to discuss possible solutions to the ongoing challenges affecting the livestock industry, as well as to share opportunities.
And let not this be just another talk fest, but a meeting which will come up with practical solutions or practical ideas which government can then partner with you on and implement.
One of the most significant factors is the lack of interest by young people in the livestock sector, which is a pivotal part of the economy.
Why can't we go back to the 20 or 25% contribution that agriculture used to place on our GDP? Now we have fallen to around 12%. Now how can we move this sector to become one of the prominent ones again?
There's a lot of potential in livestock farming. It plays an important role in rural development and poverty alleviation. The week-long forum will discuss ways to map its future direction. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The Education Ministry has identified the need for more technical colleges around the country. Speaking in Parliament, Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy confirmed at least 8 new colleges will open in January. Dr. Reddy says the colleges will promote qualification in the informal sector.
These colleges are meant for those students who have an aptitude in technical education, Madam Speaker, who may not want to go for higher education studies, for example, BSc, BCom, etc. We also offer short courses out of these campuses to address the immediate need of the labour market, as well as upskill and provide career opportunities for those who just don't have any skill to enter into the labour market.
The new colleges will be in Bua, Nausori, Wainikoro, Tavua, Navua, Singatoka, Lautoka and Rakiraki. 3 campuses are already in operation with 714 students. Nurses were reminded to be more passionate about their jobs as they celebrated International Nurses Day today. On this special day, nurses around the world celebrated the life of Florence Nightingale, who is recognized as the mother and founder of modern nursing. Julie Vatuwaliwali with this story.
Amidst celebrations to commemorate the founding of the noble profession, nurses in Fiji were reminded to value the profession and be inspired with the services they provide.
We would like to see that nurses take on the task with more and more passion. And in that comes compassion, it comes commitment, dedication. These are values that we want to inculcate, culture it back into the nursing profession.
Retired Nurses President Lavinia Padart says her group is willing to help make the changes.
The care in the wards, we see a lot of things that are not there anymore. That's why we want to come back and just work a little bit more with the young people, attend workshops with them where we can contribute to what we went through.
With the theme, A Force for Change, Care Effective, Cost Effective, nurses were urged to choose effectively between money and passion and between job and calling. But it seems there's still work to be done to improve the public's perception of this noble profession.
At the moment it's okay, but it needs improvements on some little areas. It's okay. I just hope there's a little more good improvement.
Nurses are also being reminded that they are part of a very noble profession and are to uphold it with dignity. Julie Vatuwaliwali, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. After the break, Flying Fijians, the host Maori All Blacks in July, and Fiji Under-20 football side depart on its final journey to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. These stories and more coming up.
FM number 2 na sir ng una ninden remanda kay Central Rental sa po ka dero so ko minichi me ba na koloko ni sabula
oya wa ti soni dalai
gonga ya mosdon
na magikiraw me na tolu kene bitu ena via kabi moliti kene porombuka
gori na lali ne kabi Bula FM number 2 na sir
After achieving its primary objective of the season by gaining automatic qualification for the Rio 2016 Olympics, the Fiji 7 side has shifted its focus now to winning the World Series title. Captain Jose Colinisau says there is no room in his side for lapse of concentration heading into the final tournament of the season. Talent Davakadaka has more.
It's now or never for the Vodafone Fiji 7 side as they prepare for the final leg of the World Series in London. Skipper Jose Colinisau is stressing to his players to not get ahead of themselves despite leading the World Series standings.
We are in a good spot. Next weekend we'll take another game at a time. We always take one game at a time, and we'll take our first full game. We don't look ahead of ourselves because it's sevens. You never know what can happen.
Fiji only needs to reach the third place playoff or higher to secure the World Series title for the second time. Coach Ben Ryan has received high acclaim for bringing a winning edge to the squad this season.
Look at the skill levels. I think our skill levels really improved since Ben's been here. You know, you look around. You know, I think our tackling is much better. I think our ability to win the ball in the ruck area efficiently has got a lot better. But also our ability to turn the ball over has got better. So, you know, Ben's always working on all those skill areas, and that shows through as well.
There is a huge amount of pressure on the players to win back-to-back titles this weekend. With a whole lot at stake, the team's consistent performance this season shows they have what it takes. Talent Odakavak, FBC Sports.
Good news for rugby fans. The Vodafone Flying Fijians will host the Maori All Blacks at ANZ Stadium in Suva this July. The Maori All Blacks last played in Fiji in 2008 in the Pacific Nations Cup, defeating their hosts 11-7 in Lautoka. Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive Randrondo Tambo-Levu says the clash will be guaranteed entertainment for the country and that the FRU is delighted to once again host the team. The Vodafone Flying Fijians versus Maori All Blacks clash takes place at the ANZ Stadium on July 11th. The Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football side flew out of the country today to make its premier appearance at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand at the end of the month. Josephine Navula reports.
An early morning check-in for players as they prepare to leave for Australia. The side has 2 warm-up matches against Mexico and Colombia before heading to New Zealand.
Preparations has been as good as it could be, but you know, we continue the preparation in Sydney now with two good quality games prior to leaving for New Zealand.
Warm-up matches will be a great opportunity for the players as it will show where they stand at the moment amongst international teams.
It will be difficult, we all know that and realise that, but it's exciting times for Fiji football and it's great experience for these young players, and you know, we'll see how they're going to handle it.
Fiji will be led up against top teams at the World Cup.
Well, they're coming up against 3 very good sides, you know, Germany, Honduras and Uzbekistan. So they've been to many World Cups and this is Fiji's first. So it's going to be very, very tough. But as I said, it's great experience for the future.
For Under-20 World Cup will kick-start on the 30th of this month at the North Harbour Stadium in Auckland. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Amateur Boxing Association has selected a 9-member national extended squad to participate in the Team Fiji versus the Rest boxing event in Suva this weekend. The matches will be a trial event for selection to the July Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea. The selected squad of boxers will take on fighters from local clubs, from which a selection panel headed by national coach Paulia Siratu will select the final squad. The Team Fiji versus the Rest boxing event will be held at the Carpenters Fitness Center on Saturday from 7 p.m. 175 bowlers will participate at the Fiji Airways Sunny West Bowling Carnival later this month. With the momentum it's generating and the participation of 60 international bowlers, the competition is expected to be huge this year. Meanwhile, winners of the tournament will receive 4 round-trip tickets to Australia and New Zealand from major sponsor Fiji Airways. The bowling tournament runs from the 22nd to the 28th of this month at the Nandi Sports Club. The Ministry for Youth and Sports has set out strategies to improve the performance of Fijian athletes. After the success shown by the young national squad at the Oceania Championships in Australia over the weekend, the ministry has turned its focus to developing younger athletes.
This is where athletes and coaches not only showcase the opportunity of the talents, it also provides a gauge on the success of development plans that has been produced during the early years of primary schools athletes.
So made plans to set up sporting academies in the Central and Western divisions. And that wraps up our sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The availability of albacore tuna has been a major challenge for Pacific Fishing Company Limited. However, this will soon be over with the construction of a new 4,000 metric ton cold store facility in Levuka. Ellen Stahls has the story.
PAFCO Chair Iqbal Janif says the unavailability of tuna at certain times of the year meant they were unable to produce at optimum levels.
So it's going to take more than 12 months to build. The main contractor for the project is a New Zealand-based company, Pacific Engineering Projects Limited, and work is due to start later this month as soon as we have given out the tender for the civil works.
It is with that in mind that PAFCO had decided to build a 4,000 metric ton cold store facility in Levuka to allow Fiji to have the fish in stock so that production can continue on a regular basis. In total, the new cold storage will cost $13.5 million, and of this, a loan of $4 million is being taken from Bumblebee Foods, one of North America's largest canned seafood companies.
Bumblebee Foods have continued to come to our assistance on a regular basis, and our relationship with Bumblebee Foods is very, very good. They rely on us to provide them with the loins that they need for canning in the US, and we rely on their custom to keep PAFCO going.
The plans have been drawn, and if all goes well, the new facility should be up and running by October next year. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
Cloudy periods and brief showers were experienced over many parts of the country today, the weather influenced by a trough of low pressure over Fiji. Maximum temperatures range from 28 degrees in Savusavu to 33 in Lambasa. Expect temperatures to drop in the low 20s tonight. For tomorrow, expect cloudy periods with few showers over the Yasawas, Mamanudas, Lomaiviti and Lau groups, and the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. Looking ahead to Thursday, much the same, brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. And the main points again. The European Union has proposed stopping negotiations on the Economic Partnership Agreement for 3 years. Parliament has passed a motion to rejoin the Interparliamentary Union or IPU, and free tuition for early childhood education comes into effect from this week. To our poll question now, we're asking, should police officers be armed with taser guns? Visit our FBC website www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for today. Join us again tomorrow evening at the same time. Bye for now.